Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Yes, it's another Legion video. I think I'm going to set a world record for Legion videos in a single week with all the Legion content. There's been extremely more Legion stuff announced recently than anything else, and that baffles me that we have that much Legion stuff. It's just, head and shoulders over everything else, at least right now. It'll settle down shortly, but that's largely because the Clone Wars is coming out. And they're now still releasing articles for other things. This was announced at the in-flight brief or the in-flight report at Gen Con, the Imperial Bunker Battlefield expansion. They just hadn't gotten quite to it yet as far as articles. But this is going to be like an $80 terrain expansion that's going to have a little scenario kind of built into it. Very similar to the downed ATST. And we're going to take a look at it and some of the new location, condition, objective, and deployment cards that come with it. And it looks pretty cool. I'm also going to show you guys, if you didn't see the in-flight report, a little bit of the inside as well and some other things that you can do with this, because it does look like it'll be kind of fun. Also do want to remind you guys there is still time to enter the giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card, as well as this other giveaway for the Dewback and Tauntaun promo. This is for the Spot Gloss promo from Gen Con. These are the credit card kind of looking ones. They're real thick plastic and they're super shiny and really cool looking. And both of those giveaways are happening, and next week I'll be announcing the winner, so stay tuned for that. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. Let me know if you think there's any merit to buying two of these, and why buy two of them? Well, because they're already kind of expensive. Maybe you buy one and a friend buys one. But basically it's going to look a little bit like this. It's a large piece, and they had this on display in the display case. If you didn't see my live streams, check those out because I have some footage of them, but they're very, very big. It's one of the biggest boxes they've done. If the Superstar Destroyer hadn't just come out, I would probably say it's one of the, maybe the largest box I've seen from Fantasy Flight, at least for a miniatures game expansion. But very, very large looking piece here, large looking box. This is going to come with computer terminals and some new, 6 new cards, in Act 1 and in Act 2. And this is, if you played the ATST, it's going to kind of play like a miniature campaign. You're going to play through the first act, and then based on the results of that, then you'll play a second act. And winning one helps you for the second one. So it's almost like a miniature campaign, which is fun. And it's pretty cool. This whole thing seems kind of cool, but what you might not know is that it opens up. So at the in-flight brief, they showed us the inside, the interior as well. You see that front door slides in and out, so you can just pull it right out. So you can open and close the door, which I'm a big fan of terrain that you can actually interact with. The computer terminals can go in there. A lot of stuff can come in and out and move around in there. But also it looks like the back doors are going to open up. Now, Andrew Navarro at the in-flight brief said that you can buy 2 of these and put them back to back and kind of be able to move, between them, in and out. And I think that is going to be a lot of fun, because being able to move in and out, interior terrain is something that isn't done a whole lot with Legion. Being able to really move around and fight and do stuff with interior terrain. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. I think especially if you're thinking about using your terrain in multiple ways for different types of games as well. Like, I think with maybe smaller games, like something like the new, Marvel Crisis Protocol, interior movement might actually be a thing in there, because you're playing with, much less. You're probably going to use like something like 5 characters and a smaller board. And if Legion ever does kind of explore maybe like a kill team type of mechanic where you're using a really, really small force, interior terrain might be, a lot more viable. And I think this will be a lot of fun to do something like this. And open those back doors and link 2 of these together would be kind of cool. So we'll have to see. But so we're going to get Act 1. We're having Extraction, and this is, in many ways, it's meant to be very similar to how Return of the Jedi was, with Han's strike team attacking the shield bunker. And you're going to have, the blue player is going to deploy. They're basically going in. The red player is getting in the corners. The blue player is kind of surrounding them. You're both going to start off with 900 points and at least 4 core units, so you're starting out with a little bit more stuff than you normally would, which is fun. You're going to set aside 2 by the red player. Rescue mission. Basically you're going to be able to capture it. Look, like, if you're the blue player, you're going to try and capture people that are on the red team. You're going to want to capture 2 of them. So I think basically the blue player is the Empire, kind of, if you're doing it thematically. And then the rebel player is going to be the red player, who's like the rescue. Again, you don't have to do rebels versus Empire. You could totally do like clones versus droids in this, and or anything like that. But as far as Return of the Jedi goes, it looks like it's kind of working out that way. And the point of the first mission is for the Empire to capture as many rebels that are trying to attack the shield bunker, and the rebels don't want to get captured. So that one's kind of simple, but you also have the whole prisoner aspect where you can put people inside the bunker, and that's the only way they can get in there. And then you'll move on to Act 2, and this one's fun. So you have to play the same factions, and now the total is of the red player's army is up to 900. So it doesn't say that for the blue player, though. So I think basically the red player gets a slight advantage, but the blue player is kind of in the middle, so the red player is going to be split up or be farther away. And the blue player starts with somebody inside the bunker. And on this one, you'll be able to, first off, you're going to have objective tokens. The red player is trying to basically set off objective tokens, set off bombs inside the bunker. And it's going to look at their bombs. They're going to throw 2 red and a white with critical 1, which is pretty nice. But they don't have blast like some of the bombs tend to do, so you can still hide behind things. And of course, you're going to be able to open the doors, and you're going to be able to interact with this sort of stuff, which is fun. You're getting all kinds of new keywords in this one, which I'm down for. I like the idea of being able to open doors. And the weird thing is, if you're in base contact with the bunker, you can use 2 actions to remove the door, or if you're in base contact with the door, you can just use 1 action. So I guess like there's panels all around where you can totally remove the door. I don't know. But we also have C-3PO and R2-D2 coming soon with the downed escape pod. So there's more stuff. They announced this also. They haven't put the article out for it yet, but they also announced this at Gen Con. So I expect this will be the next article. And I'm just mentioning it now because, they're constantly putting out articles, and I feel like there's so much news. There's more news than I can even talk about. So I'm just getting ahead of myself here, and it's all coming. There's more and more articles, but we have already kind of seen a lot of stuff at Gen Con, and I think once we get over the hump of like here's the new articles for everything, then we'll kind of settle down into not so much news, because right now it feels like wallets around the world are crying out in terror with all the new stuff that has been announced. But it is very cool to see R2 and 3PO as well, but we'll learn a little more about them when we get to their article. But the Imperial Bunker looks pretty cool. If you were at Gen Con, you got to see one kind of on display and just see just how big that is. I know a lot of terrain folks have already made an Imperial Bunker terrain board. I know a lot of that stuff has already happened. So a lot of people have spent a lot of hours building their own bunkers. But I think this is a really nice option. And I hope with big boxes like this, they continue to make larger things with 4 legs that can walk or stand still, that we're seeing at the Battle of Hoth and rhyme with cat or KT that rhyme with that. So yeah, anyway, that's my dream. We'll see if it happens. Maybe I'll just write a song about it, and then of course it'll come true, right? All right, well, that's all I've got for you guys today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.